Have you ever tried to crush a bad habit or force a change in your personality through sheer white-knuckled willpower? It is utterly exhausting. You grip the tools of self-improvement so tightly that you end up doing more damage than good. Striving is a specific kind of internal effort, a pressurized, desperate force, driven by rigid expectations and the fear of failing a standard you never actually agreed to. Take someone like Ben. For years, Ben was naturally quiet, but he viewed his shyness as a broken part of his personality, a deficit that needed to be aggressively hammered out of him so he could be more outgoing. He forced himself into loud, crowded social events, trying to play the role of the extrovert. The result was completely draining. Every forced conversation left him feeling awkward and even more convinced that he was inherently flawed. Think about the times you've tried to change something about yourself. Is the intense friction you feel a sign that the change is hard, or is it caused by the sheer unnatural force you are using against your own grain? The reality is that this relentless striving fails to fix our perceived flaws. It traps us in a cycle of mental exhaustion, focusing our attention so narrowly on hammering out what we think is wrong that we go completely blind to the natural strengths we already possess. The alternative to this internal battle begins with a concept called patterned presence. Patterned presence is the active observation of your recurring mental configurations, done entirely without the immediate pressure to forcefully change them. A man named Liam dealt with sudden, intense periods of anxiety. He treated these feelings like hostile invaders, so he spent a massive amount of energy building rigid, exhausting mental walls to suppress them. Liam mapped his anxiety as a predictable rhythm. This chart shows a specific arc, a trigger point, an upward slope, and a sharp peak. Recognizing this blueprint, he stepped back. By allowing the emotion to crest, the intensity naturally subsides to a calm baseline. Are you exhausting yourself trying to build rigid, straight, concrete canals for your mind, instead of learning to navigate its natural winding rivers? Mapping the underlying structure of our emotions gives us the power to ride out turbulent feelings. Insightful observation carries far more weight than brute force suppression. We see this same dynamic when we try to build daily habits. Let's look at Maria, who decided to establish a strict daily meditation practice. For a few days, she did well. Then she missed a single morning. Instantly, her mind launched into harsh self-criticism, telling her she was undisciplined and inadequate. This rigid demand for perfection transformed a minor scheduling slip into a complete moral failure. The guilt became so heavy that she abandoned the meditation practice entirely. To escape this trap, Maria used a technique called reconvergence. Reconvergence is the act of neutrally acknowledging a slip without any judgment, and then immediately taking one small step to restart your intention, like sitting down to meditate for just 2 minutes right then and there. Inner discipline is the resilient, compassionate act of continuously guiding yourself back to the path after every deviation. Sometimes our deviations are caused by inner blind spots, deeply hidden beliefs and past experiences that drive our behavioral patterns from outside our conscious awareness. Consider Leo, an artist struggling with severe perfectionism. He viewed every misplaced line or creative block as a massive failure, which routinely led him to scrap hours of work entirely. Leo eventually adopted a concept known as calculated turbulence. This is the understanding that any dynamic process naturally requires imperfections, unexpected detours, and friction to move forward. What would happen if you redefined your concept of failure? What if you viewed every misstep not as a breakdown of your abilities, but as a crucial map pointing out exactly where your internal system is out of balance? This internal friction provides essential structural data, helping us uncover and navigate an unseen internal landscape. We choose to step out of the defensive, exhausting cycle of fighting our own nature and begin co-creating with it. Starting without striving means you are trading the heavy, blunt burden of brute force for the dynamic, adaptable power of self-awareness. Personal growth involves aligning your actions with your deepest, authentic truth, letting the intention unfold with its own internal logic. You do not need to forcefully carve a straight line to succeed. You only need to gently guide your course along the natural, winding river of your mind.